Hey, folks, I want to welcome our special guest, Wade Barnes, CEO, co-founder of Farmers Edge. Wade, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, you bet. It's been a little while since we talked, but again, no moss underfoot for Farmers Edge. Boy, you continuing to push the envelope. Let's talk about your recent acquisition of CommoditAg back just a few months ago. Boy, that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're super excited about bringing that into our platform. We were in discussions with them for a while, and we just fell in love with their business model. The strategy around partnering within the retail to provide, choice to growers that are working with their own independent retailers, but want to do business online. It really gives those customers the ability to do that. It also gives our customers that are on our platform the ability to get access to, different type of products and be able to pick it up, in retail locations that they may already be doing business with or know of.
And so CommoditAg, let's talk about that infrastructure there involved with your acquisition. I mean, pretty significant. What do they have, like 14 distribution centers, 500 locations? I mean, 17,000 customers. Are those accurate numbers, Wade?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're dealing with now up to 15 large retails that have a significant footprint across the US. 11 of them are former owners of CommoditAg that, really started that business in order to, to keep up to speed with the changes that's happening in the e-commerce. And so I think that, fundamentally that the ownership group realize that that the investment in technology is a big investment for them, and their focus was more around developing infrastructure like fertilizer plants and custom application, and so if they wanted to make sure that CommoditAg had a really good home to go to and they could achieve all their goals that they had for essentially creating it. And for us it was a perfect fit because we don't believe that technology is going to close the retail down. We do believe that how farmers buy from retail or other businesses that the farmers deal with will change to a certain degree, and we think that our platform enables that. But farmers are always going to buy from their retail. They need that infrastructure. So this seemed like a really good fit. It sort of checked the boxes on all sides. And it also allowed us to create some alignment in that US retail and find a path to some of their customers and allow those retails to use our digital platform.
Well, let's talk about the timing aspect here, given what's happening in the ag space. Wade, gosh, with this acquisition, I mean, on the one hand, ag input costs at all-time highs. I mean, supply availability is such top of mind concern right now. So this acquisition, boy, could you have timed it any better?
Yeah, I know it is good timing around the fact that I think that farmers are out shopping, not necessarily shopping trying to find a better deal. They're just probably trying to find products because the supply chain is so tight. And so one of it is that maybe some farms that hadn't thought about going online or out utilizing CommoditAg and getting on the site and then getting comfortable with it and and buying some products and then hopefully once the supply chain issues get fixed, then suddenly those customers that maybe weren't using an e-commerce platform will be way more comfortable and they'll come back again next year. And so yeah, I think you're going to see we know we've seen an uptick in customers logging into the site, and we feel pretty comfortable that that'll continue.
Well, interesting times, Wade. You and I were chatting a little bit, but the whole shift in all parts of our lives online, but particularly with the business aspects, whether it's farm equipment or inputs, crop protection, finance, anything. I mean, the shift is happening. It seems to me, Farmers Edge, you guys are, dedicated to building out that digital ecosystem. Just what have you been sensing on your end on the shift here towards online?
Well, I think look, farmers utilize their cell phones to do business in other parts of their day-to-day lives. And so to start using online to buy crop inputs or important business products for their farm, it only makes sense. And I think you also have a new demographic that's coming onto the farm that is essentially, as they come out of the womb, they have a smartphone attached to their hand. And so as those kids go into university and come out and start being, important decision makers on the farm, they're only going to utilize technology and use online even more. So this is a trend that's emerging. It's not a fad. I don't think that there's any fear that the retail industry is going to collapse and everybody's going to buy direct. That'll never happen. But I do believe that you could see 25% of the farms or a higher percentage of farms buying 25% of their products online over the next period. And so that I think what technology providers and retail are going to have to make that experience positive, no different than what Amazon did. People, decide to buy online because the shopping experience was good and better than expected. And I think, that's what, Farmers Edge, CommoditAg, and anybody else that's focused on this transition to online is going to have to make sure that the shopping experience is good and the growers want to come back.
I think you're spot on there, Wade. I would just relay that one little statistic I found interesting building our machine repeat business. Now, I think it's 72% of our traffic is from mobile, and I'm sure that will just continue to go up. So like you say, and then for young people, it's just part of their lives. Now, given we're in such a personal business here in agriculture with our roots, what would you say to folks, Wade, who are maybe they just don't have the experience about, buying online from where you're sitting? What would you say to those folks about, Farmers Edge, what you guys can offer and make their lives make them better on the farm?
Yeah, I mean, we think that there's a good chance that if we can lead with Farmers Edge and Farm Command and get people comfortable with technology and utilizing those tools to help them decide on which is the best seed variety or the right amount of fertilizer or the right, herbicide or fungicide, then the natural progression is, well, where can I buy this? Or I'd like to buy this type of product, but I can't get access to my local guy because they're out of stock. And so I think, if our goal, if we can get people comfortable with using technology, the next step will be is an online purchase. But the trust factor will still be there. And I think this is the beauty part about CommoditAg and the relationship with the retail. At the end of the day, the farmer, I think, will feel positive about the fact that he gets to back up to a chemical shed or a seed shed. And he might not know the folks super well there because he's not done business because he's 20 miles away. But he knows that place that he's picking that product has been in business for 50 years. And I think that at the end of the day will give them comfort rather than, make an order online and then just hope and pray whether the product shows up at your doorstep and knowing when is it going to show up and what's the quality of it. And again, that's why I love the CommoditAg model and the strategy because it brings in that retail group and it's not sort of pushing them out to the side and trying to disrupt them.
Sure. So now with the acquisition, Wade, you've kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of have CommoditAg set up as a subsidiary. And to be a member at CommoditAg, I believe is free, isn't it?
Yeah, we want to get folks signed up to a membership, so that way we can get them enrolled in the program, get them comfortable using the site, check the site out, and then that way when we have special opportunities or special deals, we can reach out and touch them. We've taken that strategy rather than a paid-for membership to make a free membership, but to get a membership, and it's gone well. We're getting a lot of people signing up, and I would say taking us for a bit of a test ride. So.
Very cool. Well, exciting days for Farmers Edge with your purchase of CommoditAg there. And now on the topic of benefits, so the member benefits, but you mentioned periodic specials. Can you expound a little bit more on what that could entail?
Yeah, I mean, like no different than any other online business, there'll be times where we might potentially run a specialized sale. We might, if you're on the Farmers Edge platform, we might have a better understanding of products that work better for you or seed varieties that have a better fit, and maybe run some type of a sale directed towards that individual. We're also offering, for folks that get on CommoditAg, the opportunity to take Farmers Edge for a trial run as well. So, and get comfortable with both platforms. And I think, at the end of the day, we're really trying to, see, all the great things that Amazon has done with customer engagement and customer experience, and try to, essentially replicate that within CommoditAg. It won't exactly be the same because we're ag, but I think there's a lot of things we can learn there. And at the end of the day, it's about customer experience and trust. Price is always important to farmers, but it's not always the most important thing.
Yeah, I think you're right on it there, Wade, with user experience. That's nothing more important with our digital advancements these days. Now, just on the topic in general of online stores, I mean, historically, and we've had to deal with the same thing with our machinerybeat.com business as we built it, but sometimes they're hard to navigate, they're confusing, you don't have access to all the products. With your acquisition of CommoditAg, how would you, again, given you verbalized the Amazon model, trying to learn from their successes, how would you verbalize what you guys have done there?
I think CommoditAg has got a really good start with what they've put together. I think but there's a lot of work to be done yet. And it's not really competing against anybody in the space. It's competing against where we need to be to get customer engagement and customer success and a good experience. So yeah, I think, and I also think that was really important to the former ownership group. They wanted to make sure that CommoditAg ended up in the hands of a technology group that could go out and improve CommoditAg and make the investments required for that experience. So we haven't made huge changes yet. Because we went from pretty much the acquisition to getting ready for that fall sale. So we don't want to tamper with anything too much, but we are getting ready to start making, to help making some changes and improve the system, and working with the CommoditAg with their internal development group and grow that and expand it. And there's other opportunities in this space too, that you can go out and bring in other technologies that can enhance that e-commerce experience. So we're looking at all options right now, and I think the big thing is just to continue to layer on improvements, because the one thing I know about farmers is what's good in today needs to be better tomorrow, and then it'll need to be better the next day after that. No different than any other consumer, and that's the challenge with technology. It is not what you've done for me before; it's what you've done for me lately, and that's the constant battle. And if you're not pushing the envelope on that, then you're gonna struggle. And so again, we're excited. The team CommoditAg knows this space really well. We don't know it as well. We weren't e-commerce people, but we are technology folks. So if you bring those two pieces together, I think it'll be powerful in the market.
Well, I'm sure that they were. And first off, again, congratulations on the deal. I think you guys a great match there. I would guess the CommoditAg folks were, I won't say comfort, but I mean, Farmers Edge, you have a long runway. I mean, you guys go back to what, like 05? Wade, so you're not newbies here. I mean, you've been at this thing with the commitment. So what degree did that play in the deal? That
I mean, look, I think that was part of the board of directors from CommoditAg, who are all CEOs of retail that have been around for a long time. I think, I'm assuming that was a part of their decision process to make sure that the company ended up in the right hands, because these guys also have long-term partnerships with us, and they wanted to make sure that it was the right company that took control of this, and because this e-commerce platform is connected to their own customer base as well. So, and I also think that the team at CommoditAg as well. I mean, I think part of it, anytime I would imagine that as you started something and created it, you're always a little bit sad that once it becomes acquired, but if it gets acquired, but we can also make something much bigger, then I think that's what gets people excited as well. So there was lots of entrepreneurial thought in the development of the CommoditAg system, and you can see that entrepreneurial fingerprints all over it. And I think some from the retail group, and a lot from the CommoditAg team that's been working there for the last 2 or 3 years.
It's exciting stuff, Wade. Let me loop back around here just a little bit now and lob kind of a more broader question to you. But I mean, why would you say farmers need right now to be mindful about looking online for their input purchases?
Well, I just think right now with the supply chain issues that are out there, I mean, and I'm a farmer too, and I've got my suppliers calling me saying, "Wait, I know you normally wait to buy seed, but you better speak for it now." And you always ask yourself, "Oh, geez, they trying to sell me something, or is it really the issue?" And I think, unfortunately, it's really the issue. And so I think I think we encourage people to say, look, try CommoditAg out, go online, see what's there. If it's a fit for you, awesome. We'd love to do business with you. If not, don't stop checking online. Don't stop being a CommoditAg customer, because as we grow and expand and bring in new partners and new suppliers, we will definitely eventually have a product that fits. And so and again, we want to do it in a way that creates value for us, the farmer, and the local retailer. And I think that there's a good recipe in order to do that. And so I think going forward, I think it's about it's not just about choice. It's about how, as people start to buy, they want to buy in a certain way. Great that we can give them that opportunity.
I love your longer range focus there, Wade. Again, I think that's just good business. That's why you guys have been successful and you're continuing to grow. Just curious, you kind of hinted at it there, but I know Farmers Edge, you guys continue to build out the digital, your ecosystem there. And obviously the pace of change with technology is so fast, but looking ahead a little bit, I mean, could I ping you for what trends you guys think might be coming to the whole ag online space here?
Well, I mean, one of the trends that I think is coming like a freight train is low carbon grain. I think with what we're seeing in the industry, of the things that we've been working on with carbon or carbon offsets, the whole scope 3 emissions, the fact that, that food companies and energy companies have to be able to scope out what their emissions are all the way back to the farm gate, that this is going to be a really important aspect going forward. So the ability of the farmers to be able to communicate, how much fuel they've used, how much fertilizer they've used, when they've applied it, what the yields are, and the farmer's going to either be able to create an offset, make money off of that. But I think what you'll see is that I think you'll see companies that are wanting to buy grain from farmers be thinking about providing premiums to get access to grain that's grown in a way that creates a low carbon footprint, and whether it be ethanol or whether it be wheat going into a flour mill or canola oil, I think this is an emerging trend that will need technology in order to deliver. So that would be the one thing that I think is coming in a big way, and I think it's going to add tons of value to the grower.
Yeah, that is exciting stuff. And again, I'm just guessing, Wade. I don't want to put words in your mouth here, but Farmers Edge, I mean, you guys committed to staying out on the cutting edge to deliver the tools that your farm customers will want and need and expect in the future?
For sure. I mean, we did an IPO back in March to raise the capital we required to go out and deliver and execute on our vision and our strategy. And we're super committed to that. And I mean, one of the things that gives us, I think, a significant advantage in the marketplace, if you look at our management group, there's a lot of farmers in that management group, a lot of active farmers. And so, we take great pride in that because we have a pretty good feel for what the farmers want because we are a farmer. And so that has guided us really well in the past. I think it'll guide us well in the future. And it also, helps us resonate of the value proposition to the grower because, at the end of the day, you got to practice what you preach. So yeah, I mean, I think, our focus is that change is coming to the industry, whether we like it or not. And we want to be there to help the farmer through that change and be able to a certain degree, hold their hands through this digital transformation and ensure that it's a good experience for the grower.
Well, I love it, Wade. When you were giving us your answer there, the phrase that resonated with me is living it. And you guys are living it and pushing that envelope. And it was one last thing. I was just intrigued. It might have been in the press release of your acquisition of CommoditAg. Maybe I'll just bounce this off you, but you were referencing as a farmer yourself how important relationships are with vendors in the ag business cycle, and then your purchase of CommoditAg, their trust they've built up. Just wonder if you want to expound on that a little bit, the relationship part.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, Silicon Valley doesn't completely understand, I think, the culture of the farming business. And so Silicon Valley is out globally looking for industries to disrupt and change. And I don't think anybody would disagree with the fact that technology is going to change agriculture. It's going to change how farmers farm. It's going to change how the people farmers do business with the farmers. But it's not going to completely change the industry from its roots. And from its roots, there's trust, there's honesty. There's the idea of a fair deal for all parties. So I think for us is that we have no belief that we're going to flip the industry upside on its head and that, everything's going to be online and nobody's going to need an agronomist or nobody's going to need a tractor dealership. That's not going to be the case, even if Silicon Valley believes that. But I do think that technology will play as a big factor, and we want to be the bridge between technology and the person. And I learned, I heard a long time ago is that the best AI is the AI that partners with a human, not as a pure AI. And I think that is really how we see this going forward. If we can partner strategically with I would say the circle of advisors of that grower and be able to help them scale, then I think there's a big win for everybody.
Well, running toward those win-win situations, that's a good thing. And Wade, again, congratulations on your continued growth there with Farmers Edge and on your acquisition of CommoditAg. Now, folks want more information. I mean, your guys' website, farmersedge.ca, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And for CommoditAg, if folks want to join there and take a good deep look into all the great benefits, CommoditAg.com?
Correct.
Okay. Well, check it out, folks. Like Wade was saying, just ways to be better here. And hats off to Farmers Edge for investing in helping farmers be better. And again, Wade, CEO, co-founder of Farmers Edge, appreciate the conversation.
Hey, I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.